Welcome to Fanboy and Critic, our show where we go watch new movies out in theaters, usually, but every week we've been doing a sub-playlist of Game of Thrones episodes. This week we're watching episode 4, The Spoils of War. There are a lot of amazing freaking moments in this episode. Tell me, just give me one. Give me your favorite moment of this episode, actually.
There's so much. As cliche as this is, the ending was probably the best part. I mean...
What? You were sitting here going, no, that's not how they're going to end it. But it makes you want to watch more.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Well, not the very ending, I'm sorry. This specific scene towards the end was when the dragon comes by, gets shot, and comes down and completely destroys that scorpion weapon. That was the best scene.
Yeah.
Because that was the one trick they had, and they thought it was going to work.
It almost did work, though.
No, it didn't. I knew that thing wasn't going to work. You even called it when they shot it the first time.
Yeah, I mean, I called it wasn't really going to work that well. But at the same time, like, it still kind of worked. It still penetrated and brought the dragon back down to, like, base level.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously in pain, but I just loved how he just destroyed it.
But think about, with the new Iron Bank money, how many of those they can make. And just, like, line the walls with
They'll probably get an even crazier one. The Scorpion 0, Dragon 1. So that was definitely my favorite scene. I have a second favorite scene.
Okay, go. I'm not going to cut it, go.
No, my favorite was definitely the fight between Arya and Brienne.
So you're just going to take all of it? You're just going to be like, this whole episode, I can't have anything.
Everything's just so good. Alright, what's your favorite scene?
Okay, you like when the Scorpion was destroyed. I was actually like excited when Bronn was firing it. He looked so badass. Oh my god.
This is definitely getting intense.
Yeah, this only needed to be a half an hour. Like, the last scene was like half an hour. That was the only thing you need in this episode. There's scenes before this, but I think the first major moment that we get in this is when Arya actually returns home. But her and Sansa, it's kind of a weird homecoming because they hug, but then they're just like, well, what do we talk about? Like, we've been away for like
so long,
6 years, and before that we hated each other our entire lives. So it's kind of like we're happy, but we also like we're never that close. And they talked about their dad for a minute, which is like, and then they talked about how they got there, and they're like, yeah, it was pretty messed up how I got here, and she's like, yeah, me too. And like, that's literally
exactly what it was.
That's literally all they had to talk about, though. Like, the two of them, they had nothing in common. So like, that was the end of their conversation. And Sansa was like, well, Bran's back. Let's go talk to him. Like bring in your third friend, and just like, well, I'm out of things to talk about with Jay, so let's bring in somebody else and like kind of like kickstart the conversation anymore. Yeah. Bran's no good at Bran up the creepy factor.
Yeah, his new
by like tenfold.
This Third Eye Raven character is just no emotions. It's just weird.
Yeah,
it's kind of annoying.
I mean, like at first you're like, okay, he's like really changed. In this episode, he's like, okay, now he's just Professor X.
He's like, I don't know who I am, but I am the Third Eye Raven.
Oh no, he totally knows he's the Three-Eyed Raven and nothing else. He's like, I don't know if you realize, like he's like, I remember being Bran Stark. Yeah. I'm not him anymore.
That was really fucking creepy.
Alright, so a big plot point that we should discuss is the dagger Littlefinger gave to Bran. Originally the dagger sent to kill Bran. Why do you think Littlefinger gave it to Bran? He obviously has a play in mind for every single situation.
Exactly. Why? I don't know why. I really don't know why. Maybe he was expecting him to have a vision by touching it and like it'll link to something.
Which
he kind of did.
Obviously from the end of that scene, he didn't know that Bran had vision powers.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right.
He didn't know. Because then Bran threw it in his face. He's like, I can like basically read your mind, and I've seen everything that you do. And Littlefinger, probably for the first time in the whole show, was
got
like
scared.
Like he's usually has like a smirk, like I knew that was coming, or like I've seen this like future before. And for the first time, he's like, what? Like he's a little concerned.
That's the best way to explain it.
So I think what he was trying to do is say, he even said this, Like, it's a very rich dagger. It comes from a rich family that obviously wanted you out of the way. So he was trying to say the Lannisters tried to kill you. He was trying to remind him, because Bran should officially be the Lord of Winterfell. Like, he's the oldest living Stark, and I think he's trying to set up the table for be like, Jon's not a true Stark. You have your true Stark here. He should be the Lord of Winterfell.
Wow, I didn't even think that deep into it that he would do something like that.
Oh yeah,
like well, he's actually the king. I'm gonna start manipulating him.
Oh yeah, I mean he's thinking like 10 steps ahead, and this isn't necessarily like he thinks is gonna happen, but it's one of the many possibilities in his head. Brienne has seen Arya come home and Sansa come home. From like season 2, her whole goal was to see the 2 Stark daughters be returned. Her arc of her loyalty has been completed by that. I know she pledged to be helpful to Sansa, but I don't think Sansa really needs it. She's in her castle surrounded by everybody.
I think they're not even going to go into that just because Arya wants to get trained by her. I think that's what they did just to cover up that little subject. It's like, well, for right now, she's here because she's training Arya type of thing.
Do you think Arya actually wants to get trained by her? Or does
100%.
Arya... I think Arya wanted to test her skills against the person that beat the Hound, so that in her, like, inside her own person, that she could know that she could defeat the Hound now. I saw Podrick look at her, though, like, damn. Alright, so the next really big scene was on Dragonstone. And they go check out the Dragonstone real quick, and then Jon's like, there's something I want to show you. And at first I was like, yes, Jon loves getting on in caves.
They knew what they were doing in this scene. They totally led us to think that they were definitely good.
There was a lot of touching by Jon.
Yes.
And Daenerys was like getting real close and like getting that sexy little whisper in as much as she could.
It totally blindsided us though.
And they put them together alone in a candle torch-lit room. Mm-hmm. But here's one thing that I would like to ask you what you think. Jon's had a little bit to be down in there in the caves. How likely do you think it is that he drew some of those pictures?
Not likely.
You don't think so?
No way.
I think he drew the White Walkers because they look exactly like the White Walkers that he's seen and the exact number that he's seen. I think he drew the White Walkers. I could be very, very wrong.
Do you think if he did, is there going to be a consequence for that later, you think?
We'll see.
Because that's the only reason he would... I mean, they would even put that into the show.
It's important enough... I mean, they're real. We know they're real. And it's important enough for him to make her believe that he would bullshit her.
I don't think he's a bullshitter.
I don't...
That's why I love Jon so much.
It's like...
he's not a bullshitter.
For me, it's like 70% that he did not do that.
Okay.
I'm just saying there is a sliver... Chance. There's a sliver of me that says he wants it badly enough...
So bullshit.
...to fake that. It's not even a lie because it's real.
That motive right there is definitely a reason for him to do something like that.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So then she asked him to like bend the knee again, and she says like, I'll fight for you if you bend the knee, and they don't really see his answer. What do you think he said?
I really don't know.
What do you if you were him, what do you think you would say?
Exactly what he said when he was just like, no, I can't bend the knee after everything he's been through. Like, nah, I'm not bowing down.
I think he said, there are other ways for us to work together. My people won't respect me and follow me if I bend the knee. I can be an ally to you and you can claim the 7 kingdoms, but I don't care about the 7 kingdoms. He suggested an alliance in which they both look like they're in charge.
Okay.
And he doesn't really care about the actual, like, whatever specifics of it. And then they cut it off there. I don't think they went into specifics, which is going to bring back to, like, a marriage proposal later. And then Tyrion comes out and he's like, hey, by the way, we took Cashley Rock. And it's not a good thing.
Yeah. She's extremely pissed after that scene.
Oh, yeah, she's going crazy.
Immediately goes to Jon Snow and says, what would you do? Oh, this episode.
Yeah. And then this is why I think they came to some sort of agreement in the cave, because immediately she's like, Jon, what would you do? And she says specifically, I have no allies and I'm losing the war. like basically implying that they're the last allies of the North. And Jon's a much smart, like Jon's not super intelligent, but as a commander, I think he has a better sense of, sending troops and strategy than anybody on his council. Because let's keep in mind, he's a brilliant politician, but he's not a general. He doesn't know anything about warfare. He's got a lot of good common sense.
Yeah.
And he's a good politician, but that doesn't necessarily translate to battle plans.
Mm-hmm. This just kind of shows you that they're eventually going to be a team.
Yeah,
they're eventually going to be united.
100%. We kind of talked about it earlier, but let's get back to the Brienne and Arya fight scene. Rogue versus Paladin. Who do you think won?
Arya.
Yeah, Arya won.
But I mean, it's kind of like, was Brienne really trying 100%? Yeah, maybe towards the end, but that 100% still almost got her killed.
Arya and Brienne are like badass warriors that are not going to be happy just sitting in a castle waiting for shit to happen.
Okay.
I think the Littlefinger's gonna like take a little honey, put it in their ear, and be like, Lannisters, Cersei is a menace to this whole realm. I know you have, if only someone had the ability to remove her from power, that way everybody would be safer. And then Arya's gonna be like, fuck, yeah, I gotta go take care of this. She's on my list, I gotta do it anyways. But she's gonna take Brienne with her.
I don't see that.
Nope, she's gonna take Brienne. Brienne and Arya are like,
isn't
just
Brienne
after
cool?
one. Yeah, Brienne's awesome.
No, I'm saying cool with
She's cool with Jaime.
Oh yeah, she's cool with Jaime.
She's cool with Jaime, but Cersei, nobody's cool with Cersei.
Not even Jaime.
Yeah, even Jaime's kind of on the outside. Brienne's gonna go with Arya, I think, because you saw that look of admiration on each other's face, like, damn, well done. The scene that made this entire episode, Field of Fire Take 2.
All
so
right.
we'll call it the Field of Fire.
I kind of appreciate that.
Because there's lots of fire.
Feel the fire.
The Lannisters are basically retreating back to King's Landing right now, and they get pulled up by the rear by all these Dothraki. Originally, you saw just the Dothraki. I saw the leak, but what were you thinking? Do you even suspect the dragon?
No.
You just thought the Dothraki were just gonna mow them.
Yeah, just mow them, get them for whatever they got. But when that dragon came in,
yeah,
I was a complete odd.
You and me both. The first time I saw it, the first time you saw it.
Yeah, there's just so much. But the dragon,
there's a lot.
Did you think the scorpion was gonna come out?
I thought there might be one in the group, but then they didn't pull it out right away.
So you assume not.
But dramatically and narratively, they shouldn't bring it out right away. They should wait for the climax of the battle, then do it, which is exactly what they did. I think Bronn should have died though. I think dramatically, Bronn should have died.
And if Bronn would have died, Jaime would have never got the save.
I mean, Dickon could have saved him.
That guy.
Jaime's in full plate armor, sinking to the bottom of the water. How do you swim in that? Especially with one hand.
Wow, I didn't even think of that.
And he's missing one hand. A gold hand does not help you swim.
He's not gonna die though.
I don't think he's gonna die. If he was gonna die, they would have taken him out right then and there.
They should have definitely turned back when they saw that dragon. All they had to do, they could have saved all those resources that they destroyed.
No, they couldn't have.
Yeah.
There was no way. They were not.
Yeah.
They're not quick enough.
They actually could have that run away. She could have just kept firing at them.
They could have abandoned all the carts and tried to make a retreat, but even then, they wouldn't have made it. The Dothraki were screaming at their backs. The dragon's way too fast. There's no retreat, and then they just get caught running. It's better for them to make that stand.
Yeah.
He saw Daenerys and he was like, I can end this right now. But at the same time, it's suicide. Do you think he knew it was suicide?
Yes, I was screaming the entire scene. This is not him. He would totally not do this. He's smarter than it. He knows he wasn't gonna make that. Someone that smart would know. Me on this horse.
He's smart, but he's also brave. His smartness and bravery. His smartness would make him realize this could end the war right now, and his bravery was I'm definitely going to die doing this, but I will end the war right now. So, like,
oh, that's a really good argument right there.
Those two together would make him do that, I believe. But you're coming at smartness by him surviving. His smartness is, I'm going to save tens and hundreds of thousands of people in this war by killing the queen that's going to bring destruction.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually being extremely selfless at this point. He's saying, I'm going to die by that dragon, but I might take out that queen and end the war, keep the rest of my men from dying, keep King's Landing from dying, keep Cersei from dying. Like, he's essentially sacrificing his life to end this war. You still think that's not smart?
No. I keep putting myself in his shoes, and I'm not risking my life.
Well, you're a coward. So.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's get into predictions for the next episode. Again, their previews don't really tell you that much. Bran sees the Night King coming towards Eastwatch by the sea. We already kind of knew that. Basically, we see Daenerys threatening the Lannister army to bend the knee.
I think that whole army is definitely going to bend the knee. And Jaime, again, might be a prisoner of war again.
My predictions outside of the previews, I'm going outside the previews. I think Arya and Brienne are going to leave for King's Landing. I think Bronn and Jaime are going to make it back to King's Landing, and Cersei's going to be like, you lost my army out there, and Jaime's going to be like, there's a dragon, like, what do you want me to do? And then Jaime's going to kill her. Every episode I'm going to predict that Jaime's going to kill her.
And that's going to happen, you're right. I totally agree.
It's Jaime's going to kill her eventually. I think another prediction, Jon is going to welcome Daenerys back, and they're going to embrace a little bit, and it's going to be like an awkward sexual tension moment.
Again, they can't do this to us every episode.
They are. They will. It's Jim and Pam. As soon as they get together, people are going to stop watching. Before a big battle with the White Walkers, they're going to get married and be like, it's love. And then one of them's going to die in the battle with the White Walkers. All right, fanboys and critics, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, check out our Patreon page to help us keep making videos like this. And next week, we're going to be doing episode 5, The Blood of the Dragon. It's probably just going to be me because I'm going to be out of state, and it'll be my stupid face from a camera phone doing her... I took notes.
I took notes for the best episode.
Like 3 pages worth.
Jesus Christ. I know, I speak Dothraki.
You speak Dothraki?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Say thank you in Dothraki.
Dude, I learned it, but I don't remember it. But anyways.
Trick question, there is no thank you in Dothraki.